a Florida school finally doing something other than banning phones. They brought in a drone. Over in Texas, where they also banned phones, Conroe ISD has put up the 10 Commandments. And of course, Reddit went crazy about this and attacked me about this. Anti-Christian, anti-American, of course. And meanwhile, I'm scrolling through rants about how people doing stuff over on Reddit. It's really hilarious. SSA got activated. Squarespace is a horrible company, and we will not be working with them again. And Rolling Stone's new top 25 drops. Let's see how many of these people I know. President Paisley makes waves over on Reddit and on our new site. Rated.org used to be the Odyssey Boy. It's our new media review website plugged in. We're coming for you. And something else you're not making it. Yes, we're going to show the queen of Instagram, who's been able to catch every single trend in one post. All this and more coming up this week on the Tech Boy podcast. All right, now let's get into this podcast today. First of all, coming out of the great state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis has finally figured out how to do something. I always tell these people, like the governors, and of course the DOJ who's going after Google, all these government officials, do your jobs, do something useful for once. Okay, please. Do something, please. I'm begging you. Okay. Other than signing bills that ban phones for kids for no good reason, they actually did something here. So Florida now has activated. This is a pretty high-tech solution. So they have now activated and allowed the police to use some sort of drone that's connected to weapons should an attacker come into said school. Pretty interesting, pretty neat stuff out of that. Hopefully, of course, they never have to be put to use, but maybe they can run a simulation, play a video or something like that. I actually think it's pretty useful technology. Hopefully it doesn't go rogue, because that would be pretty scary at all. I remember this book I was reading about this like super genius kid, and they have this like robotics event. I'll put it up in the show notes when I find the book. But yeah. And at the end of the book, this drone came out and attacked people that they were building for some sort of FRC robotics style event. So hopefully nothing like that happens with the drone over in Florida. So good stuff coming out in Florida. Again, now talking about Instagram, I was doing this study. I was scrolling through the Instagram reels, and I took note of all the accounts and what all the trends were. And it seems to be that these trends are heavily based on, of course, girls dancing, teen girls. That's usually a huge trend on here. In fact, let's see, out of these, probably about half of them on my Excel spreadsheet is just all about, girls doing stuff. But there's also some other things as well, such as dating and Christianity and the satellite zoom in stuff. So you might have some person zooming in on Google Maps or Apple Maps, just doing some screen recording, being like, top 15 biggest schools in Texas, and it'll show like football stadium or something like that. So I think that's really interesting. Maybe that's how we can trend on Instagram. And we were thinking, it's going to be pretty hard to trend on Instagram. We probably can't do anything with the whole zoom in stuff. 6'7". No one really cares about something of that nature. So we want to put out a podcasting call. As you guys know, I promised back in April that we're going to get TikTokers on the podcast to interview and find out what the trends are. And as you can see on the screen, we put out our podcasting call here. 156 people have seen this, and we are also rolling out ads across schools in Houston, Texas. Our first tester school will be Tomball High School. We picked that school because they did the best in analytics. As you guys know, SNO ads, SNO sites is the website that controls half the student newspapers in the United States of America across high school and college. This is our podcasting call image up here. I was able to get all this in Canva because Canva is having a free thing where I got Canva Pro for 30 days, so I have to input a credit card. So that's pretty good. I'm going to put that to use as well. And anyway, SNO Sites is the website that allows you to put up your high school newspapers. And Tomball High School is a pretty big school, has about 3,600 something people in it. But I mean, honestly, the click-through rate, I was going to rant about them today because the click-through rate is insane. So of the 3,500, 3,600 people on here, on their school news website, and of course, you have to pay for these ads. These ads cost $50. On their school news website, it said that the impressions was about 1,500 or something like that. Yeah, 33%. 33% of the entire school was just reading the newspaper. That may sound good, but then when you think about this, they could just mandate it. When I ran GNN, do you know what percentage of the school watched GNN? 100%. Why? Because we had them all sitting there. We had them all watching. They all had to watch it. Every 51 of the students had to, and thank you, Gabriel, for giving me this. That's got an extra E on here. There you go. Every 58 and every one of those students had to sit there and watch GNN. So, if we wanted sponsors or something, we didn't have sponsors. But if we wanted sponsors, I could have gone and emailed people and said, hey, look, everyone is forced to watch this program. We're going to watch this. How can a school this big, 3,500 people, have 66% of people not even know of said newspaper's existence or even read the newspaper? I mean, that's horrible. Okay, I was planning on rolling out over on Klein Oak High School. I did my own little internal study. 3 people that I knew that went to the school had never read the paper, and 2 of those people had never even opened or even knew that said paper existed. So no. And then I went in and to the ads dashboard. Klein Oak High School had the audacity to charge the same amount of money for the same ad that Tomball High School did. And guess what their click-through percentage is? 10%. That is insane. That is outrageous. That's outrageous. You're writing for a paper that no one reads. No one. 500 students out of 3,500. 10% of the people read it. Bro, I'm pretty sure your journalism department's like 30. What? Bro, you can solve this problem pretty easily. Just have student council or people be like, oh, guys, look, we're going to, when I was in high school, they forced us to watch CNN 10. Everyone watched CNN 10, right? If you guys can force people to watch CNN 10, you can force people to, I don't know. Oh, let me guess. Read your own school newspaper. Put it in the curriculum. It's not that hard, especially if you're going to charge ads for them on this website. And here we go again, back to A. No. Anyway, how are you going to charge ads? $50 that no one's going to read. That's insane. I mean, they should be charging like $20 for these ads, not $50. It's just ridiculous. Okay, but hopefully our high school rollout goes well. We're trying to merge into more high school themed events. Let me see if I can get the graphic here up on the screen of our Canva graphic. They have these like big banner ads, so I actually had to put in some more stuff in as well. But it's going to put out I guess a professional casting call. So of course we are looking for new teams to come in and join on the podcast. Go to TheTechBoy.org/team and you can sign up for that as well. Of course, we already bring the guy's perspective on stuff, and of course, we want to go investigate trends. We want to investigate, what's trending among the teens of America. So, we're primarily looking for like a girl co-host or a girl contributor, so then we can 50-50 split it out. Of course, they'll be more in tune with the trends than what we are as well. Also, this is also tying into our Instagram marketing strategy as well, which of the stuff that they are doing on here. Actually, I'll go through each and every one of the trends that is happening on my Instagram study. We'll probably publish the full results later as well. We have propaganda. We're not falling for some dating 10 out of 10 stuff. Asking college girls if I could sleep over. I have no idea what that trend is. Obviously, we cannot do that trend. Sports, Christian, political, dating. Something about a 40-year-old male, so obviously you cannot do that. Some girl trend, a school/meme trend. Imagine if you went to jail, what would your friend think? You went for girls again. School/meme, satellite zoom in, girls/Christian/school, who we will be moving over on to. Girls/dancing/dating and Christian. So as you can see from these trends, it's either Christianity and girls. We already do the Christianity stuff, so it's time to expand into the second one. All right, now speaking of the image, here we have this person absolutely crushed each and every trend. this is insane. Okay, so it is the Christian trend plus the girl trend plus the school trend all in one image, image here. Bro, this is how you grow on Instagram. Okay, and this just like randomly came up. All right, so this is part of the study here. And we actually have it tagged over on the spreadsheet. Bro, look at this. Obviously, we have the comments here. I've talked about the comments multiple times. It's always the comments of people absolutely glazing these people in the comments. Bro, this person here, Anna1_Claire, has 2 comments already glazing this person here. So great stuff coming out of one of our high school correspondents that I was able to get in contact with. Told me this is a thing that they try to hype each other up on. I think I have a clip about that one time. Let's look at the trend here. Here we have the caption quote, going into senior year with God is my biggest supporter. Then we have the Christian trend, and then we have the obviously the school trend right there in the caption, senior year, and it's like literally written over on her car, which is a pretty nice car by the way. Ford. I'm not sure what kind of Ford this is. We'll have someone else analyze it. And then she's literally sitting on top of the car. I mean, honestly, pretty amazing stuff coming out of whatever school that is on wherever that is. I mean, honestly, great trend. And also the account makes what does the statistics say on this? Addie Faith, just 11 posts, has over 5,760 followers and follows almost 3,000 people. The caption says, "God is my happiness, faithful moments _ photography, faithful moments something pin pixieset.com." So, almost 6,000 followers with 11 posts. You've got to be doing something right. And if we want to compete with these people, because she is our competition, right? If we want to compete with these people, we have to go fast. We have to really lean into this as well. So that's why we are going to be rolling out this ad campaign, and this is the ad campaign over in Canva. It's going to be like a big banner ad across the Tomball newspaper, and hopefully the 33% of people that see it, and hopefully they engage with these advertisements as well. But this is the ad rolling out in here. So these ads are pretty expensive, $50 a month. Of course, we're going into the month of September. That's 31 days. 30 days. Anyway, stay tuned with the Tech Boy Media. Be on the This Week in the Tech Boy podcast, Landslide to Victory of the High School Election Simulator. That's the original stories everyone should be talking about. And then we have everything that we do on this side as well. So I am not going to pay for a separate ad saying, hey, we want people to come on the podcast. And then we have a separate ad that says, hey, we do tech news. Hey, we do spy tech. Hey, we do hot takes as well. No, we're not going to do that. That's like $200 worth for a newspaper that no one reads. So hopefully this ad campaign is successful. Hopefully we can generate some revenue from this as well. And we've already, and the people who don't have the famous, as I was scrolling through and, found people, hopefully for the people who don't have the message that says, quote, yeah, this account can't receive your message because they don't allow new message requests from everyone. So, we gotta fix that as well. All right. So that's what's happening over in the Tech Boy Media podcast. Now, for those of you who may have visited the site on Tuesday, it was down. And do you know why it was down? Because Squarespace sucks. Squarespace, I do not know what is wrong with them. I do not know what is wrong with Squarespace. Squarespace is a horrible company. All right, so as you guys know, this website was built in July of 2020. And back then, Google Domains was still alive. Google Domains were still up, and it integrated so well with Google Blogspot. They were on the same platform, so I bought my domain through there, $12. And every year, I renewed my domain, $12. I think back in 2023, I finally put it on auto-renew. Then Google Domains sent an email saying that they were shutting down. I don't know why Google would do this. It's not like it cost them money. Okay, Google, you're a almost trillion, I think, dollar company or something like that. You will be fine. Selling domains to people. You will make it. Okay? You will live and not die. Anyway, they moved their business over to Squarespace, and the website stayed on through 2023 and 2024. Everything was perfect. Everything was fine. I went on to check the website one day so I could go find some article. I did not get an email. I did not even think about renewal because I had already been like, oh, it's August already. The domain is still up. The domain is still online. It's great for Squarespace. This is good. I hadn't played with any of the settings, okay, since at least like 2021 or something like that. I went on. The website was taking some time to load. I was like, oh, no, this isn't good. I went into the settings and found out that the website was offline. So I went in to Squarespace, and you know what it said? I hadn't paid for my thing, but the thing had expired. Are you ready for this? In August of 2026. August of 2026. They're telling my domain expired in August of 2026. Squarespace. I don't know if you have calendars where your headquarters are, but it's not 2026. My domain should still be up. Ridiculous. And I tried to explain this to the people in the chat, and they're like, well, you have to verify. I can't really do anything to help you about this until you verify that you're the account owner. Because for those of you who do not know, when I started the website, I was 13 years old. I didn't have a credit card. So I had it on some other email address, and I just paid in cash and had my parents pay for the domain name. Yeah. So I had to go in. I had to go check their emails. I had to go get that all reset as well. But that's beside the point. My domain was paid for. And even if it wasn't, you didn't even send me an email. And even if it wasn't on there, the site itself said that the domain would expire in 2026. And right now, it is not the year of our Lord 2026. It's the year of our Lord 2025. How does Squarespace not understand that? This is a glitch that's totally and wholly on them. And I went on to talk to the support after transferring it over to an account in my name. I paid them $12 for a domain I did not have to pay for, but I wanted the uptime to move on. And guess what? Nothing happened. Nothing happened until they realized that I was like, no, I'm fed up with this. I'm switching over to another hosting. And they're like, oh, okay, fine, I'll approve it. Because it was saying that it would take up to 5 days for the domain to transfer to some other hosting provider, which of course I did have to pay for again, which doesn't even make sense. So I paid you people $12 just so that your domain would not work in Google Blogspot. And the second problem was that Google Blogspot only shows you your DNS settings, your CNAME, etc. once. You get that code only once, or you lose it. You have to go find it in Google Search Console or something. I put it in. It was taking all day, taking such a long time. Squarespace, what is wrong with you? You did so much wrong. You never send an email or notification to me, which my email address is on that account. It doesn't have to be paid for on someone else's account. I am an admin, or was an admin back then. Now I'm the owner. My email address is on there. I did not get a single email from you that my domain was going to expire. Probably because your system was like, it's not 2026. It's fine. And then when the domain was bought, as you guys remember, the website was started in July. Then we bought the domain name a few weeks earlier. I think maybe like August 9th. Okay? All this errors and all these glitches started 20 days later. Which I'm glad for, because I'm here and could access the email. Or the other site might have been down for, instead of just a day, it would have been down for, maybe a week. You didn't even want to email me about this? You didn't even want to tell me about this? Squarespace, what is wrong with you? So no, I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to use their website building technology. I was thinking, hey, maybe this should be a good time to move everything out of Blogspot onto something else. The problem is none of our themes will work. We'd have to literally recode the entire site from scratch because Blogspot themes do not work with WordPress or anything else. So maybe I'd move a smaller site over and not a much larger site. Speaking of a smaller site, we have our new website. Not new, but we bought a domain name, not on Squarespace, but on Porkbun. Rated.org, rayted.org. Of course, it's spelled that way because Ray, like Christian Ray, Christian Light, something like this as well. Christy Lamont, who has been mentioned over 60 times on a podcast episode, 43 times, confirmed times from my internal text searching. Rid of these Christy Lamont, wow. Mentioned over 60 times. You know who is the number 2 mentioned person on this podcast after Christian Lawn? Most likely it is MI6 with a confirmed 36, now 37 mentioned. So congratulations to Christian Lawn and MI6 for being mentioned. There we go, 38. Mentioned on this podcast at least 30 times. That's insane. Also, MI6 has been mentioned. Christian Lawn has been mentioned on this podcast since February. MI6 was mentioned in May. So May through August. So, had MI6 existed in the universe of SSA, then she probably would have been mentioned like 100 times. So most mentioned person on here is not Isabella. It's not I don't know who else it would be. It's Christina Mon and MI6. So congratulations to them as well. Anyway, over onto the Odyssey Boy now. Rated.org. I ranked. Oh, there you go. Over to the Odyssey Boy, now rated RG. I ranked every character in ant form. And I want to see what you guys think on this. And this is actually trending on Reddit. I did 2 posts, and I trended on Reddit twice on the ant form, or not the ant form, the Disney Channel subreddit. So that's great. We try to get an article out every month on this website. We're diving into teen media review. Of course, we got the domain name as we now try to consolidate all our efforts into one big tent to become a more teen-friendly, teen-focused company as well. So hopefully we can get our teen podcast co-hosts and co-stars before the end of the year. Hopefully we can, of course, review more media. become a great teen-centric, teen-focused brand, because other than, Clubhouse magazine, there's nothing else. I was actually reading a Wikipedia article and found out that Focus on the Family, sorry I have to call you out here, used to have a boys magazine until they shut it down. But when they brought Brio back, they did not bring the boy magazine back, or the teen boy magazine back. Why? I mean, what? I mean, the boy to girl ratio here in the United States is like 1-to-1. Okay, what? You thinking what? Boys don't read after the age of 13? They don't need magazines anymore. Anyway, here's rated.org. Make sure you guys check it out. The Odyssey Boy would be too long of a domain name. Anyway, here are the characters of Ant Form ranked, and I got pretty positive response on Reddit, but I think someone was trying to subtly call me a racist because of where I ranked China. And sure, of course they did. Of course, Christy Demond obviously will not like this take, but this is the correct take. Lexi Reed is number one. Love her or hate her. She is the top character of this television show. Her detractors may say that, of course, she's vain, self-obsessed, ability, manipulative, cunning, and evil. However, she's smart, vain, self-obsessed, ability, manipulative, and cunning, and evil here as well. I mean, look at this image here as we zoom in right there. This person, love her or hate her, was able to take over the school's PA announcements and turn this into Good Morning America. And she's obviously loved in this school. I mean, she got people standing beside her, literally trying to beat down the door saying, "We love Lexi." And she knows it, and the show knows, and that is why she is number one. She is also number one because she ran for president and won. She gets what she wants. She's good at technology and math, which is also a major plus. She was able to review and say why the Z Phone Classic was better than the Z Phone 2 because of the math and pixels per inch used on this. As someone once said, quote, "Lexi is a kid with immense power who uses it for political and personal gain. She's just like me. Lexi is the most powerful and popular kid in school. If I existed in that universe, I'd team up with her and kind of soften her edges, but she's well-liked and respected overall. She's like the inverse MI6. She uses her intelligence and popularity to become the president of her middle school in 9th grade, and it's not even a close election. It's overwhelming defeat for the other candidate, whoever it is, but she wins. I think she got over 500 votes. She weaponizes Paisley's incompetence for her personal gain. Despite her rivalry with a middle school age China, she weaponizes everything about it to become the number one most powerful, most popular leader at the school. She may have some faults, like she's not perfect, right? She has some faults, like she's fast and obsessed. She sometimes puts down others as well, but if that doesn't really come back to her anyway. Even the people that she puts down, like Cameron, are always coming back to flock to it. Now, is that the right Christian moral thing to do? No. But do I really care? Also, no. She puts people down, and of course, but she puts them down with a nice sounding voice. I think that's one of the things that makes it number one as well, is that even when she's bullying people, even when she's stuck up, mean, and annoying, at least she sounds nice while being stuck up, mean, and annoying. Sometimes things get in the way, like boys and crushes, but she just crushes them as well. She doesn't, sit around and cry that someone broke up with her. That's only happened once, but anyway, she doesn't sit around and cry and feel sorry for herself. She sees what she wants, and she often gets it. She became president. She became her own news host. She's been on TV. She's been in all of these talent shows. She's been the lead in every show as well, and was only rivaled by Paisley, only because Paisley is so stupid, Lexi can't always get to do what she wants, and by China. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, she almost has no rival, and obviously has no equal, as she is the unequivocal number one here on Ant Farm and on this show. All right, on to number two, Paisley. And this is the image that got me trending on Reddit here. President Paisley. I mean, I saw this image on Google. I mean, look at this walk right there. Amazing. I mean, doesn't she look like she's about to run for president of the United States of America? And honestly, I would vote for her. Anyway, Paisley, Lexi, but dumb and nice. Paisley is so stupid to make Skyler from Good Luck Charlie look like Albert Einstein. Little Rock's a lot smarter than this kid. I mean, one time Lexi told her to make her bed, and she started getting a saw and started cutting the bed. And despite Paisley's incompetence, and despite Paisley's IQ being at the freezing temperature of water in Europe, she's still popular and fairly nice to everyone. In fact, she even beats Lexi Reed herself for popularity because she was friends with Cameron, and Cameron followed her on some sort of school-wide social networking application, which I'm going to take a little bit of a tangent here. We're going to talk about, in all these Disney shows, especially in like the from 2010 to maybe like 2017. Especially, I don't know if this was a Disney show, but Project MC Squared, you had the tablet. I think we've talked about this before. I think that was from 2017, right? Project MC Squared. Anyway, in all these Disney shows, they always have, of course, some sort of social network, and it's always like they posted this, they posted this, they posted this, and it's always so interesting because, of course, that's at the forefront at the cutting edge of technology in that time period. Of course, as you guys know, Instagram came out in 2010, and I was actually reading about the history of Instagram. And I'm thinking, like, how did Instagram, of course, come in and become such a popular application, especially amongst teen girls like Paisley herself, and also amongst evangelicals. You always got the Christians and the church Christians over on Instagram. I think I had a video of this, but it's like all these trends that are going on. I think some Christian was like, oh, I come to our youth service. I'm like, oh, I can't, I don't have any clothes. They gave us some clothes. Oh, I can't, I don't have a ride. They literally pushed her into a car, and then they said, and I quote, and I swear I'm not making this up, our service starts at about 6-7 o'clock. Yes, they actually did that in a meme, and it was in a reel, and it was as cringe as humanly possible. What the heck even is a 6-7? Like what? Anyway, like who cares what a 6-7 is? There's also some meme of the president of the United States and the vice president of the United States also saying something about 6-7, like I stopped 6 or 7 wars, or we saved 6 or 7 lives, or something like that. As well, people believe online that they're doing that intentionally. Which I'm not really sure. Like, I really doubt that the president of the United States is sitting around scrolling Instagram reels of of teen trends. Isn't he like 79 years old? Yeah, doubtful. I mean, the only president that would scroll these 6-7 memes, of course, would be President Paisley, who would be a great president as long as he had Lexi as a VP. And I mean, honestly, look at this photo, downright presidential. That's why she is number 2, just under Lexi Reed. Zoltan Grundy, smart, capable, bright, and usually funny. I mean, he's great. I mean, he's like Lexi, but just a little bit older and a little bit nicer. He's the founder of TheTech and founds a school that the Ant Farms moved to. He's a great character. He's usually funny. Sometimes people try to trick him, but he's not stupid. Okay, I mean, he has $67 million, which he is very fond of telling us. But he's around these kids, these normal kids, and nothing really happens. Like he's not like just like throwing money around at them or anything like that. He's kind of like normal, down to earth, kind of funny as well. I mean, yes, did he get shoved up a tube because he couldn't fit in it? Yes, but I mean, that probably happens to everyone after Hashimoto took over his school. All right, now on to number 4. I had to put these images in. He's the only person with 2 images on the site. And yeah, Angus. I mean, look at this kid. Look at this. This guy. He all he did was sneeze. He's like, meow. And he became famous. Look at these people they got their yellow shirts in here. They got their blue backwards baseball caps. There's new posse. And also, he even got Lexi Reed herself, who famously does not like these people. The only people she kind of likes is Paisley, but everyone else likes her as well. That is weaponized Riz to the nth degree. He got all these people surrounding him. He was like, new shirt, old shirt, new shirt, old shirt. I mean, look at this. He just exudes coolness and strength. And look at this guy. Look at this. He is leading this dance troupe of people to they're about to sue someone. I mean, honestly, Angus might be one of the coolest characters on this television show as well. I mean, sure, he may be like 12 years old, but he's a computer hacker. Yes, body humor. Yes, and crush on Olive, unfortunately. Yes, so 2 for 3 great characteristics. He's really funny, and his friendship with Fletcher. Boom, he's a mini Zoltan Grundy right there. He's on his way to becoming a multi-millionaire. So I'm good on Angus for making the number 3 spot on the list. 4th spot on the list. Sorry. Olive, interesting factoid. Olive is so cool. Now, Olive, I used this picture for because when they changed her hairstyle from whatever it was back then to here, I don't know, maybe she got older or something. But this is like, I guess, the best picture that they had of her over on Disney Plus. Anyway, she's one of the coolest characters. She rarely changes. Like I was saying, other than her hair, she got older. Her personality is golden. She spouts off these interesting facts. It's always played for like her facts are boring, but her facts are pretty interesting. This makes a very educational television show. She's China's loyal friend and ally, and she's talented in almost everything she does. She has an encyclopedic knowledge of everything, from rapping to English to Japanese and the other 55 languages she knows. I mean, she's incredibly smart, and she's kind of a bit of a bully, a little bit. She's like a little Lexi, so that's why she's over at number 5. All right, Dixon Herbert Ticonderoga. Now, I would have put this kid maybe at number 1, maybe at number 2. Russia was threatening the stake of the school. Once again, today's dating threat to national security. Yesterday was proven right. National anthem, blah, blah, blah. He almost straight threatened the state of the free world. Who would believe this story? China, after Olive starts dating him, which he loses a few points for dating people, wants to go spy on the Canadian embassy, which China herself also says that Canada is an ally, which is why you guys should vote for Ager in the USGS elections over Rumpu. Anyway, make sure you guys vote for Ager in the USGS elections. Anyway, he says that Canada is an ally, but he spies on Canada for some reason, and he falls for this violent Russian spy who chases them around Z-Tech, potentially putting the state of the free world and the integrity of Z-Tech as a whole at school. Meanwhile, because he broke up with Olive is an absolute mess. She's a wreck. She's crying over this, which is, again, why you should not be dating in high school. 98% failure rate, no matter what, even if you are a spy. Okay, so she's crying over this guy, Dixon Ticonderoga. And, of course, we have China herself. You may be thinking, and this is what the people in Reddit were probably mad at me about. Only one person, he said, China at 7, I know what you are. They probably think I'm a racist or something like that. No, look, China's a great character. I mean, this list goes already 16, so she's top 10, right? I put in a lot of people in there, so of course they couldn't pull this on me. Anyway, China's an interesting character. She's a good character, but does she really resonate with me the most? I mean, no. I mean, look at those people. Obviously, Lexi Reed is me, but a girl and also slightly meaner. Paisley, she's just super duper funny. Okay, that's why she's up there as number 2. Zoltan Grundy, basically me, older. Angus, basically me, older. Olive, again, basically me with all the interesting facts and all the yapping. And, of course, Dixon Herbert Ticonderoga, songs to dating, essentially me. I mean, he comes out of a helicopter into the school. Does that not give you aura points? Does that not give you coolness or not? Or not? Okay, China's great. She's a great character. The show is centered around her, but her talent is singing. Okay, look, you guys know in my videos about church is that singing is boring. It's boring. Okay, I do not want to see singing in a television show. But of course, she is higher than some of these other people because she is a rival to Lexi. That's what I do like to see that. She does the right thing. She saves Lexi's party. She keeps her friends together. She's like the central character of the show, which is why she's in the middle of the article. Okay, she has crushes, but she's smart enough not to date Fletcher. All right, Kennedy Van Buren, as JFK once said, "That's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for Japan." And I really like this image here, right here. I mean, look at this. She just looks super duper serious right there. Look at Olive standing there in a suit, Superman. I mean, she looks like she's about to give some press conference right now. I don't know what happened. I had some little Japan flag imagery over here. You can probably see that over on Instagram or on the super trendy Reddit post. President Van Buren, presidential hopeful Japanese spy. So she has this aesthetic about her for the entire third, what do they call it, season, for the entire third season, that she is going to run for president of the great United States of America in 2032. Maybe our next article will be about decoding what political parties. Yes, sure, she does mention climate change, which would give an edge to the Democrats, but she does mention some other Republican talking points as well. Anyway, despite planning a 2032 presidential campaign in somewhat annoying fashion, she's smart and convincing. She even gets polls from all across the great United States of America and weaponizes Riz to fake a crush on Fletcher. All of this so that she can steal technology and turn Z-Tech into Hashimoto tech as well. I mean, boom, smart, driven, presidential, and weaponizing Riz is why she gets an 8 on here as well. If she did everything but was not a Japanese spy, but was for a spy for the great NSA, the National Security Agency, she might be up at number 2. So, also, what is wrong with the show? We got people spying on Canadians, and we got the Japanese spying on us? What is wrong with the show? It's like, at least they realize that Russia is not an ally. That's good. The geopolitical knowledge of this service, it's sketchy, but it's not that sketchy. All right, Fletcher. Sorry, Fletcher. art prodigy that can make seriously good art pieces, especially the Great Wall of China. I mean, there's one episode where he creates an entire like just huge big paintings, life size almost, of her face. That's great. It's a talent, I guess. And it just merges into his personality. Like in China, it's his personality for like 2.5 seasons until he dates Olive. Okay, great. That's fine. Okay. Cameron. I like Cameron. Okay, Cameron's great. It's just that he does not resonate with me at all, like personally. Like he and you know how they're like, oh, you need to have representation in media or something like that. That doesn't really make sense. Like, I have never watched the show once in my life. So, oh wow, there's a black person in this show. Wow, that's great. I feel really seen. I feel really represented. No, I feel more represented by values, which is why I feel more represented by, say, Lexi and President Kennedy Van Buren than I would from poor Cameron here, who gets absolutely just beat down by life, but he's not evil. He has moments of victory because he dated a model once, which, I mean, I guess it's a personal victory for him. Obviously, that wouldn't be a victory for me or anyone else, of course, in the world. But, he only dated her in the imaginary realm, which looks weird as heck because he was, like, posing for pictures, trying to kiss her and hug her, but it was just all imaginary. So he looked really weird in pictures. So, I mean, yeah, he dated the model, but, he also didn't date a model. So, that's kind of total failure on his part there. Sure, Lexi and Paisley did fight over him, but then a few episodes later, Lexi didn't even remember who he was. So, like, he's constantly put down on by everybody. He's put down on by Lexi, of course. He's put down on by freaking Olive. I mean, if he put down by Olive, that's sad. Even Fletcher, I think, put him down. You know how sad you have to be to get teased and put down on by Fletcher? Everyone from his own parents put him down, right? One time, Lexi came to his house and was like so shocked that a girl came over to of course, his house, and then she like fled and like, oh, yep, we were expecting that. Yeah, finally. I can't believe that she left. I mean, this poor kid has done a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, look at this. In this image alone, he's getting his arm chomped on by a freaking anaconda, and yet he just still smiles right there as well. Okay, I mean, Olive is downright vicious to this poor guy. She says he couldn't even get into a college as a janitor, and he's hopelessly in love with Lexi, who at best views him as a doormat, at worst doesn't view him at all. Seth, I mean, he's there. He probably would have been a great character if, they introduced him in season 2. Well, I mean, he's there. He likes animals, and he celebrates Hanukkah. So congratulations. That's literally his personality. Okay, in one episode, he likes animals, and then he just leaves. He leaves for 20 minutes of the entire episode, and then they're all scared about what's going to happen. So, he doesn't really have that much of a personality. I couldn't put him that high as well, which is the same reason why I could not put Roxanne Parks high as well. I mean, she's only like a few episodes, she gives Paisley a job. I mean, she's great at her job. She's a children's party entertainment person. That's congratulations. But after the first season, we never see her. We don't even hear from her again. China straight up leaves the entire school, goes away to boarding school. We never even see her again. So, she's a side character. I mean, I even forgot that we saw her on screen. Daryl Parks, China's dad. He is around in season 1, but man, he puts down Cameron. He's a horrible, incompetent police officer. He ticketed his own son for speeding on the hallway in an electric car for 5-year-olds. We'll get to that as well. But he did stop Lexi and Cameron from stealing the principal's phone. So, some points for that as well. Mr. Hashimoto. This is what I'm talking about. Look, Mr. Grundy is stuck in a tube right there. And look at Kennedy right there. Look at her. Just angry. Anyway, Japanese tech CEO, that's a rival of Z-Tech. He steals an experimental Z phone from Z-Phone 4 from China, but she regains in a Japanese karaoke battle against him. He also spies on Z-Tech via his daughter, Kennedy Van Buren. Principal Skidmore. Horrible person. She is a cheap, old, ugly, scammy hag. That is what she is. So she's so bad that China, Lexi, everyone in the school is united against her. She wasted school funds to have a statue of her. She wasted school funds on wings after she found out this club. She has no oversight as well. She's locked the ants in the room. Oh, yeah. Also, she stole their personalities. And no one likes her at all. I mean, when Zoltan Grundy gave the, access to Z-Tech's new school, they all fled. They all left. None of them. Not a single one of them even hugged and said goodbye. I mean, she ended up as a maid. Okay, her school was so bad that in the before mentioned speeding episode, the reason they were speeding in the hallway in an electric drive-on car for 5-year-olds is because they could not afford real cars. They also could not afford a clock. She's corrupt to the core, and she used to be in jail. She used to be arrested. Lock her up. And Violet has taken the 16th spot here. She's horrible. Okay, she has a crush on Fletcher. Fletcher obviously doesn't reciprocate, and so she goes around and tackles people. Okay, no character depth at all, just being angry. Okay, I mean, I guess she did take her anger out on Lexi, I guess, but she's angry at everyone. She's angry at the world, so that doesn't really count. Here's the what on earth is wrong with these people section. Madam Cuckoo, what are you wearing? Seriously, what is this? Skidmore, scammer. She hates children despite leading them. Winter Maddox. She also sees a smart scammer that hates children despite leading them. Sequoia joins. What is wrong with her? And Graham, bro, what is your anger problem? And oh yes, Barry Figginbottom. What the heck? Who named you that? Please, what? Figginbottom? Really? Also, pretending to be a nature expert and not, and then getting lost in the desert of Australia. Typical, I guess. Typical. And Gibson. What on earth is wrong with this guy? What? Whoa. Some wires got scrambled. There's a few screws loose in there. I mean, what happened? What is going on? Horrible. I don't even know where to begin with that as well. All right, Conroe ISD is putting up the Ten Commandments in in Texas schools, and of course it's supposed to be going around all the schools around this great state in this great nation. And normal people are like, okay, this is great, Ten Commandments. Okay, the crazy people on Reddit are like, Christian nationalism, So I got into a debate about them with them about that. I saw some people freaking out on the Woodland subreddit, like just absolutely breaking down and crying over this. Like, whoa, calm down. Like, what? Do you want them to steal? Like, that's terrible. I mean, these people, like, what, do you want them to steal? Do you want them to kill? You want them to commit adultery? I mean, yeah, some of them probably are, but I mean, do you really want that? Like, goodness gracious, what's wrong with you people? Anyway. The people on the Conroe and Woodlands subreddits were all freaking out, like literally crying about this. Christian nationalism, and they're saying, I said, no, this is good, this is fine. Like this is like what the bedrock of the United States is formed upon. Like, no, that's Christian nationalism. So I said, okay, why do Jewish people acknowledge the Ten Commandments? I'm like, what? Are you stupid or something? What? The Ten Commandments came from the Jews. The Ten Commandments came from the. I was like, are you hearing yourself right now? How can you say it's Christian nationalism, but then say that the Ten Commandments came from the Jews, which obviously they did. The Bible came from the Jews. They were like, oh, you stupid. You didn't know that Jesus was Jewish? Bro, if it's Christian nationalism, then why did the Jews acknowledge the Ten Commandments? Bro, like, what, are your brains broken or something? What's wrong with you? Are you people okay? I don't know. Crazy stuff happening over on Reddit. All right, speaking of Reddit and crazy stuff happening, there's this image coming out of high school. This image gets sent around all the time. I do not know where this comes from. I'm going to try to open up the image. I'm trying to open the image address so we can get it without any distractions. Yeah, I have the image here. I've always tried to track down where this image comes from because the people who share this image around are always like, this is what they took from you. This is what they took from you. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, you have this guy, this quarterback. I don't know what position he is. He's a football player. Standing on the football field, talking to this blonde, I'm going to assume girl. Okay. Now, me is like, oh, wow, good. Threat to national security. Also, like, where was this image taken? Other people are screeching and crying and whining. And they're like, oh, this is what they took from you. Who took this from you? Who's taking stuff? No one took anything from you. But like, where does this image even come from? What school is this from? Whoa, I tried to zoom in. I'm like, what? Well, what does it even say? Tennessee? I bet he said something about Tennessee. Anyway, like, and it's like, reverse image search doesn't help because everyone in the mafia is supposed to know this is what they took from you. Who is they? I don't know. What did they take? What did they magically make teenagers dating illegal? Because I like to give them a Nobel Peace Prize. JK. I said I wouldn't make that, of course, legal. This is the anniversary of my 2-year anniversary of me giving my speech at Loy. Hi, I guess we can read that over on from SSLTW. Like, well, what school is this? This is like every high school level: a fence, a track, and some grass. No one knows what this is. We gotta know who these kids are. Maybe we can get them on the podcast. We gotta find them on. Find out. And you guys know I have like unlimited free time, so I will be tracking them down. JK. I mean, who knows? Maybe this image is like 10 years old, and they just like started moving it around, and they started like sharing it around. So who knows? I'm trying to see this comment that I found on here. Back to computers. We've got let's go over to the TechBoy.org. Thankfully up and online again. Holy guacamole! We have 2 new articles on here. This week of the TechBoy podcast transcript is now our #1 article. Insane. Media Matters is finally coming for me. They're going to find in at all the what is Newsbreak reporting? Newsbreak, shut up. Anyway, they're finally coming for me. They're searching the entire transcripts, which, fun fact, someone actually screenshotted this and made it their own thumbnail. So I'm finally being ripped off. People finally trying to search and find all the crazy stuff that I've said over almost 200 episodes. And of course, of the article that's on here is This Is Getting Ridiculous, which is just me talking about perplexity in article form. So we're not going to read that because I talked about perplexity twice. Anyway, Spotify has introduced direct messages, DMs, reintroduced them actually again. What do you guys think about that? Like, I mean, you could just text them or email them or whatever, or not email them, Instagram, whatever, which I think is really interesting how Instagram, once again, has become such a very important, pivotal, key app. And it kind of ties into this post I made on the computers subreddit, which is like, I want to go back and read some books about computing from the pre-2005 or something like that, because computing, as you guys know it today, is kind of dead. You go on any teen girl's phone, you got, Snapchat, Instagram. We've been through this before. This is all that's the form of communication as well. I think one of the biggest scams, the most patriotic guy from the biggest scam Apple has ever pulled. I saw this video on the internet. Here we have his posting. She's like some type of, it's a day in the life. It's a vlog video or something like this. So I'm going to copy the image just so we can get the full image. It's a day in the life video. She lives in New York. I'm assuming this was taped in 2025. I don't really care about the day in her life that much. So I hope you guys can still see this on the screen. Here we have it. The greatest scam that Apple has ever pulled is this phone right here. Bruh. This phone. The iPhone 16, which was the #1 top-selling phone in Q1. The iPhone 16 is insane. I mean, Apple seemingly was able to just go back to the iPhone 11 and 12 design and just take off some space so that you can differentiate yourself from those people. Of course, with 5-year-old phones, Apple doesn't want you to have. And the phone from last year, which had the phone with the diagonal camera lens. And it's barely a speck bomb. And they just put them fun colors on. Oh, let's make it pink. Let's make it blue. And that's the #1 selling phone of all time. There's not much on those phones. You know what's on it? It's Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. It's just those phone applications as well. And it's like, even TikTok has DMs, which is insane. Like, bro, who DMs on TikTok? And one of the problem with this is, hey, wait, this actually might be good. I can go find all of those people's Instagram profiles that I've been messaging on the Spotify programs that I've been messaging on Instagram, and then send them messages to stuff like, who wants to sit on Spotify and talk about music? I don't know, but I'm all for having more features. If you think about it, Snapchat, Instagram, iMessage, those are the big apps, and of course, Safari now being replaced by ChatGPT. If you just make an application with just some little AI in it as well, because people don't research anymore. People don't do that. People don't read. Well, all you need is like CNN and whatever your local news app is. Then you can have one messaging application like Beeper Mini to integrate with all this stuff. Maybe Snapchat. And that's it. Oh, and some type of AI app. Boom, that's it. All they're going to read is the headline anyway, the first few paragraphs anyway, right? That's what these phones are, for and nowadays. So, interesting take from Spotify as well. But how to upload an Instagram story from your desktop computer. So this is one of our tutorials for today. So what you have to do is you go click Control-Shift-I, and there'll be some sort of message on there that says don't paste anything in there because it will hack your account or something like that. Hope you can see this on the screen. There you go. Well, I'm not gonna have you paste anything. It's not gonna hack your account. Let's go to Instagram.com and go to Control-Shift-I. This is our image post, obviously, of the top people over on Ant Farm. And then you'll go click here and go to the here and it'll click your phone. So I chose the Pixel 7. You could choose an iPhone SE. Doesn't really matter what phone you choose. Just make sure it's the phone, not a tablet, because I haven't tested out the tablet thing as well. So I chose the Pixel 7. See this? They have a list of phones you can choose: Pixel 7, iPhone, which I think it's really funny that in Google's own browser, in Google freaking Chrome, they put the iPhone SE over their own Google Pixel phone. Google, show your own brand some love. Goodness gracious. They also have like some really old versions of the phones in there as well, like the Samsung Galaxy S8. Who's using the S8 anymore? The iPhone XR? Like, what is this? In the iPhone SE, it doesn't say which iPhone SE is. Could be I don't think it's the original. It might be the 2, which is from like 2020. You reload the site, and you can find it here, or it might be on your story page. But I had already uploaded something on your story thingy there. So, but you can still upload your story there. Now it's not gonna have all the features that you want. It's going to have, I think it's going to be missing like links and stuff like that. Unfortunately, you still need the application, which doesn't even make sense. The Instagram application, the same thing as the Instagram website. It's just a website wrapper. Okay, whoa, you could probably, if this thing could run Android, it could run Instagram on it. Not going to lie there. It's the same thing. All right, let's go into the Rolling Stone top 25. And I found this Reddit comment thread just really funny. So let's go in. This is the Rolling Stone top 25 most influential content creators. We're going to do 24 because one of them does illicit stuff. So we'll skip over her. So top 24 from Rolling Stone. I do not support Rolling Stone. It's a trash website. But we're going to see how many of these people I know. Now, I have read the article, like proofread it, but I'm going to tell you if I knew about them and what they did previous to reading the article. So we'll just be live reacting to this content right now. All right, so these are the top 25 creators, starting from number 25. K-Boy, never heard of her. Now, let's guess what she does. I don't really remember what the article is. Her handle is, and I'm going to kind of call out some of these people on some of the stuff here. Her handle is LayMissK_. She's a lifestyle creator. What does that even mean? Like what? She does a day in the life video? Good for her. And of course, she's an activist, which activists are annoying. Okay, activists are annoying. She's don't call her an activist. She's the voice of a generation, you guys say, which is really funny because I've never heard of her. And she's 25, so she's in my generation. This Dallas doll made a name for herself, who takes from everything from trans rights to a love for a local food bank. So she's just crazy. Okay, she's a crazy lady with 1 million followers. Woo! She's top 25 most influential. So there was that. She has a TikTok video and they're treated by her golf girl followers as gospel, which is really funny. How this is the top 25 most influential person, I guess under 30 or something, under 30-year-old, seeing as, hey, I've never heard of this person a day in my life, and she doesn't do much. All right, Brandon Edelman, another lifestyle creator. Now he does have more followers than her. I did read through this article, and it's kind of weird that some people who had more followers were a bit lower than some of these other people. So I'm going to call them out on that as well. He's a fashion world person who likes Applebee's and supports local businesses. So 1.6 million people tune in for this. He makes money making videos about his life, and his life is just making videos. Okay. Who's this guy? Dave Portnoy. Finally, someone I've heard of. He's that guy who bites pizza and reviews it. Good for him. Also, how does this guy, number 23, 18.2 million followers. Also, he's 48, so I guess it's not under 30. This is most influential social media people. Okay. 18.2 million people follow him. He started Barstool Sports, and he sold the company for over $500 million, and he bought it for $1, and he likes pizza and doesn't like Trump, so that gets him $18.2 million. That's okay. That's good for him. Good for him. I don't even know what he's influential for. Isn't he banned from like the entire NFL? So there's that. Meredith Hayden. Again, never heard of her. Cooking creator, which is really good. We need more cooking creators who know how to cook. No more Olivia Giuliano dipping pizza in some ranch sauce, coating it in some gummies, and then deep frying it, and then taking a bite out of it like we don't expect to send you to jail. This person literally made fried watermelon and tried to pass it off as a chicken nugget. So hopefully the food that she cooks is real food, actual food that you can eat. She's a luxury chef. She makes homemade ice cream with peaches and tomato baked cod. And she's a Gingy phenomenon that makes cooking videos, which is great. But how is that influential? What's she influencing people to do? Cook? Like, what, were they not going to cook before they saw her videos? What were they doing? Starving to death? What's next? People eat on camera? Do people who watch mukbangers get inspired to eat from said mukbangers? They just like the smacking sounds or whatever. Okay, I don't think anyone who's watching this person cook is like, man, I want to cook. I actually, this is actually a pretty new thing. Cooking. I've never heard of this before. So that's how the food goes from raw to on my plate. People put it under a fire. Like, wow, I can't believe it. I'm going to have to try this at home one time. I've never heard of this new phenomenon. All right, Alex. Also, 13.2 million followers. And this guy had 18.2. So why is she more influential? She has a marketable personality. What does that mean? Marketable? What? She's 24? Okay. She was on some ad. She was also on TV and tells stories about her acne. Real relatable. Instagram model telling us struggles about acne. We all need to hear about her poor, sad, insecurity life and how she's helping people. Now, there's this woman on Instagram who's like, I have belly fat and people used to mock me for it, but now I'm happy with it. And I typed in her stats, and she was like obese or overweight or something like that into a BMI calculator. And that's her job. Her job is just that's literally a job. So congrats to her, honestly. Bro, if you can pull that off, congratulations. Bro, do you realize how smart of a scam that is? All you can do, you don't even have to diet. All you have to do is eat. And be like, oh, you mocked me? You teased me? Boom! Free content right there. I'm going to go eat a whole pizza after this too. And you can help people who all have this problem. Yes, people struggle with their weight. So now they look to you to feel better. And then you market off of them. You're like, oh, trying to be skinny is $1 billion industry. Yes, because people don't like dying. Anyway, this person, Alex. Oh, she loves Alex Cooper's Unwell Network. Alex Cooper, famous for interviewing the vice president of the United States and then paying like $10,000. No, sorry, she paid. The vice president paid $100,000 for her set. It looked like a cardboard box. So Alex Cooper, great woman, scamming the VP, amazing. She got paid there just sit there and talk about her campaign, which failed. So unfortunate for her, great for Alex Cooper, I guess. And another Alex has left the chat. She announced a new podcast that I have not heard of. It's called Hot Mess with Alex Earl, and I'm really guessing it's not hot and it's not a mess. It's almost been 3 years since she's been yapping on camera. Hey, just like me. She's been yapping on camera for 3 years, just like me. So, when I was 16 and she was 21, we were both yapping together. Anyway, there's people posting more than ever. So when it comes to your content, it's really important to have a strong voice, your opinion, and storytelling. And it's just going to be people who are watching another video, watching that, and then scrolling past, which is just what seems like internet's come to. Just a bunch of people doing like viral interviews with random women on the street. No one tells me where these random women on the street comes from anyway. Like, what street are you on? Where do you even find these people? Anyway, back to the next thing. Sabrina Breer, which 20. She's number 20. Alex had 13.2 million people, and Sabrina Breer has 1.4 million followers, and she's higher. Why? She's a comedian. 31. and she tells jokes on social media, and she has and apparently she went viral just by saying "oh." So maybe they'll invite her to sing the national anthem next. Because the first word is "oh." Say, can you say? So that's very patriotic from Sabrina, not Carpenter. Theo Vaughn. Hey, look, I'm out of I think we started at 25, so this is 6 people. We've gone through 6 people. I know 2 of them, so 33%, not bad. He interviewed the president, I think. So good for him. Podcasting, 26 million people. So, wow, what a name. Theodore Kapmiti von Konkowski III. Can you believe it? His dad grew up named Theodore Campini von Konkowski Jr. He was like, you know what? I'm going to give you this name. Theodore Captini von Konkowski III. Insane. He's done well for himself. He's a podcaster. Self-declared white trash, I guess. And he sat in front of Logan and Jake Paul. So, wow, in front of them. The great Viners. And he brings right-wing personalities onto a show that I've never watched. And now he's a podcast bro and talks to people from both parties. So good for him. He just lets people come around and yap. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Not with political figures, but with holy guacamole, this tab is using 1.1 gigabytes of RAM. What is Chrome doing? What are you doing? Chrome gonna Chrome. Anyway, that's what we're trying to do. Not with political figures, but with teens, so that we can get the teen perspective. Because sitting here, the one person watching this podcast is probably bored out of their mind and going to sleep. Okay, this podcast is like a lullaby for them, which I do not blame them one bit. Anyway, so there you go. Who is this woman? Anaya Kasi. She is her last name. Wait, you're telling me that Theo Vaughn, who interviewed the literal president of the United States, is lower than this woman who does comedy and fun facts? She's a grown-up olive, people. Whoa, no one has heard of her. Okay, I haven't heard of like 7 of the people on this list. So okay. Great for her. Iron Mouse, 5.2 million people, who is a Twitch creator. It might be a she. They say it's a she, but she's anonymous. So it could be a he, just using a voice filter. Who knows? Again, never heard of this person. And she was featured on Canadian rapper BBNO $, Babono dollar. Singles, 1-800. So, great song from a songwriter no one's ever heard of, from a country that no one lives in, and in a song that no one's heard of. So, that's great. Alona Meher. Never heard of her. Sports creator. And she makes women's sports and body positivity. That's another trend of thing. Maybe we should get into that. Speedy Mormon. Well, this guy's name is actually Speedy? Again, never heard of him, but, his name is Speedy. I said watch it. Apparently he's a journalist. Again, 1.6 million people. How is he lower than Theo or higher, depending on how you look at this? Freaking Vaughn. That's crazy, bro. He's a journalist who started at The Complex, which is a news website, apparently, that no one's heard of. And he doesn't consider himself a comedian. He left comedy to Drewski, who's apparently a comedian. I don't know what he's famous for, but he's a comedian. And he interviewed sitting presidents. I don't remember that happening, but okay. And he interviewed people from rappers to movie stars. He just interviews people. Good for him. Tefi Pessoa. Estefania Vengenes Pessoa. Who is, what'd she do? An advice column. Wow. She is just like that girl from that book that I read about who spied on that boy through an open window. Just a little bit more famous. So she makes an advice column on TikTok for the girlies. So she split her audience in half, and she's like at 14. So, this means that when we expand the audience to teen boys and teen girls, we are going to be great. We're going to be number 1 on this list one day. And there'll be people on podcasts saying, I have no idea who this kid is. And noted. Drew Afula, 10 million followers. Finally. Bro, we still have not beat Dave Portnoy, I believe. 18.2. He's up there at 23. This woman who just rants at misogynists. Man, that her life must be a joy. Such a joy to be alive. Such a joy to be around too. You know, she just yells at misogynists. What an amazing living. Amazing. I don't. You know, that's okay. That's great. I'm going to find my Reddit comment so we can get to that. I found it. All right, yeah. Poor kid. All right, anyway. Duke Dennis. Is he a football player? Never heard of him. Also, this image, he got that like red eye. It looks like it was taken on either some teen girl's Instagram photo from 2003. 25.2 million people. Never heard of him. What's he do? He's a streamer. Okay. That's great. All right, who's this person? Jake Shane, comedian. 4.9. Yes, this comedian is more relevant than a streamer that has 6 times more followers than him. How does this work? I don't know, but we'll find out. Who's this? Alex Cooper. Finally, someone I know. That's like what, 3? She's I can talk about. She's a podcaster who's on the Call of Daddy podcast. He interviewed Chappelle Roan, who I've never heard of, and Kamala Harris onto a podcast, which boasts more than 250 million streams. So I'm very close to it. Very close to it. Only 249,999,999 more people need to listen to this, and we will be at her level. And I guess maybe when I run for president of the United States, I won't go on a podcast because every president that's gone on a podcast has lost. So good advice there for Alex Cooper. Also, she's split her audience in half again. She looks famous, but I have no idea who she is. Camilla. Oh, wait, no, that's the one we're skipping. Yeah, anyway. Hassan Piker, political streamer who's a socialist with 10.5 million subscribers. Hopefully, he doesn't have any premium content because it'd be kind of ironic if he, sold anything as a socialist, seeing as he's against capitalism. He covered protests. Yes, protests. Protests that are very, very important and do stuff. People standing outside in signs and waving them. Yeah, protests. Everyone likes a good protest. All right, anyway. Mr. Beast. I don't know how you have Mr. Beast at number 7. Bro has almost 1 billion followers. And they put him at 7. 7. That's diabolical. That's crazy. Of course I know who Mr. Beast is. He made his own TV show. Has anyone else on this list made a TV show? Anyone? 7 is crazy. Bro, who has heard of Caleb Hahn? He's a comedian. Yes, this comedian with 1.6 million followers is more important than almost billion follower Mr. Beast. Who wants fat people to go, oh, actually a cool life is possible for me. So his stick is inspiring fat people. That's great. Quinlan Blackwell. Yes. More people know who Quinlan Blackwell is than Mr. freaking Beast. Sure. She's everywhere, they say. Everywhere. Really. Because I read this article. The whole thing. I did not remember any of these people on this article. She's a comic, model, and creator, known online as Queen. She was popular on Vine. Wait, she was popular on Vine. But she's 24. What, was she popular when she was 13? Was she that girl in the video who was standing on a chair? She thrived on Twitter before it was X, raked in the views on YouTube, and made her mark on TikTok in 2019 when she was, 20? Maybe 19? Now she cooks for celebrities and acted in the show. Well, okay. At least she has a TV show. So that's, we got some chats. Mr. Crispy Lamont is crying about Mr. Beast for reasons, I guess. Half the people on this list want you to be fat. Oh no, Mr. Beast, wham, big whoop, cry, crush for crispy Lamont. Anyway, that's probably like what, mention 63. I don't know. Let's make it 70. Who's this guy? Kai Sanat. I think I've heard of him. Didn't he cause some protests in New York City? Let me check. I think one time when Google AI was brand new, like in 2023, it confused me with Kai Sanat. Let's see. Ah, yes. He incited a riot in Manhattan. That's crazy. I guess he's trying to give stuff away or something like that. I don't know. Christian Lamont doesn't like Mr. Beast because he gives free stuff away. Capitalism. Right there. Anyway. Miss Rachel, who is a children's content creator. She started Songs for Littles. But then she became center of discourse for speaking up about the children suffering in Gaza, Sudan, Ukraine, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Yes, I'm sure her audience of 3-year-olds can. Like, doesn't she create like Blues Clues type stuff on YouTube? Yeah, I bet all those kids, those 3-year-olds, are gonna be sitting around protesting for Ukraine or something. I don't know. Like, what? Stay in your lane, do your job, and get to work. 27.8 million people. How is she influential? What's she influencing? 3-year-olds? What's she gonna do? Get them to mass organize and I mean, what? Did she or did she not incite a riot in Manhattan? I mean, if you can incite a riot in Manhattan, that's pretty influential, in my opinion, there. Drewski. Oh, he's number 2. I thought he was 1. I've heard of him. Don't know who he is. He's funny, I guess. So, he's funny. Okay. He was at the BET award stage with Kai Cenat. And like, who watches BET? Who? And number 1, Aisha Speed. I thought Aisha Speed and Kai Cenat were the same person. And Aisha Speed is deserving of this. Because he has well, actually, no, he's not. Sorry, Mr. Beast has 7 times more followers than this guy. So, that's anyway. Show of hands here. Who was listening to Aisha Speed? Anyone? And as we almost finished out the podcast, I want to talk about Lexi one last time. Lexi Reed, and you're going to see why this is relevant at the time here. Lexi Reed has, there was an episode where she got ranked like 3.6 or 3.1. Of course, we disproved that. Yeah, she was ranked 3.6. I used my application, and she got rated 9.1 out of 10 on the TV, right? And you'll see why this is relevant, because I'm going to read this Reddit Ask Tina Rice subreddit thing here. Question here. Let's read this. And everyone, be nice to this person. I'm not mocking them. Only mocking the 2 sentences in here. Because and this is, I'm totally detaching myself from the conversation. I'm just going to be using facts and other statistics here. I'm going to be skipping over a few irrelevant parts as well. I'm a 16-year-old girl who lives in the city. I go to a school full of 95% white people. Over the years of me being at high school, I've seen my friends have boyfriends and get flirted with by boys while I have radio silence. I have a pretty much fun personality that I know lots of people like. People like to be around me and chat with me, but boys are never attracted to me. I'm not ugly. I've been told by a lot of people that I'm very pretty. And I've gotten very compliments about my appearance, but I've never been asked out by a boy. I know my value isn't attached to a boy, blah, 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 but I'm just trying to understand why, quote, all the white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls get all the attention from boys, while the tall brunettes have boys obsessed with them, and I just have to watch because no boy even bats an eye at me. Yes, let's, I will investigate this to the fullest extent. I mean, sure, I just did a search in like 2 seconds, and hopefully you guys can see this on the screen. I will investigate this. But anyway, sure says that the quote American beauty standard is a shifting cultural norm, traditionally favoring European features like light skin, blonde hair, and thinness. But you know what? Google is not enough for me. I will activate SSA and the NSA and the Department of Justice. They need jobs anyway. And I will investigate this. I will get down to the bottom of this. I will investigate. Okay, I don't care how long it takes. I will face search and scan every Instagram post. I will analyze every comment. Okay, I don't care if it takes weeks, days, months, years. We will analyze this. I will get down to the bottom of this. I'm going to find out. I swear. Okay, I will do it right now. We will investigate why all the white, blonde hair, blue eyed girls get all the attention from boys, and why the tall brunettes have boys obsessed with them. Yeah, we will investigate this. This is a threat to national security. Okay, I will have a full 500-page report prepared for you by next week. I don't care how long this takes. Also, wow, perfect upvote to comment ratio here as well. And I commented, quote, "They most likely not interested in you. Attention is not owed, and 16-year-old boys go for looks. You may not be their type." Which, I don't know. Maybe, hey, look, I will get 100 boys into a room. I will interview each and every one of them. Okay? Hundreds, thousands, millions, billions. I do not care. I will use every last bit of money that we have to investigate this. This grave and terrible injustice that has been brought upon this great nation. We will get to the bottom of this, and that's how we're gonna end the podcast. Sure, we don't know who any of these influencers are, but we can do what we must, and conquer we must when our cause is just. And we will download and analyze every image on Instagram, every photo, every video, every reel, and we'll put them all through the scanner and analyze every comment. So help me. Also, one last thing. You know how Samu invaded GCam. She was in GCam. She was at their house within 5 days after she got placed within GCam in 2024. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. That's great. But I actually realized that I broke the record. She did it in 5 days. I did it in 2 hours. So, that's a victory there. So I will talk more about Samu later. Samu, pretty spectacular. And of course, we'll be part of the investigation that we just sparked here as well, because this person obviously doesn't understand why people who are, according to Google, the American Beauty Standard, are getting dated by people who want to date the American Beauty Standard. So there's that as well. I don't know. Anyway, God bless. Tech talk to you later. Pray for them, Mason.